All right, welcome back to our kitchen. And Jennifer Dick, Manitoba canola growers, let's get started. Moong Daal. So this one's special. Tell us about it. Where did this come from?
Yeah, so this is Nita's family recipe. I'm going to bring you on down here for a little bit of show and tell.
Let's on down, okay.
So the Moong Daal is a blend of, we have our red lentils in here, and then this is actually a mung bean that is dehulled and split. And so on the label, when you go to find it, you're going to be looking for a mung lentil or a mung split hulled, dehulled bean.
Okay.
The labeling varies, but trust me, you'll find it.
You can find it?
Absolutely. You can find it in the store, and it's worth seeking it out. So you would then want to rinse these off and soak them. My big tip is to use your sieve. It's just like makes it so easy.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah.
Well, because I haven't tried this before. I haven't tried cooking with those, but this I have, and that also works really well. The sieve, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very forgiving. You can rinse them and soak them from anywhere from just while you're making the recipe up to about an hour if you so choose.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's get started. So in pot 1 is where we are going to add in our canola oil.
Da-da-da.
Ta-da, you've got your heat
And
on.
what's great about Manitoba canola oil? Everything.
Take the heat. So today for this recipe can take the heat. So I have learned from a couple of great mentors with Nita. This is her family recipe, as well as Ragavan Iyer. He was such a great chef and teacher. And so much of making these recipes work is about the visual and the aroma cues. So you want to get that cumin in there, get it heated, get it going. Can you start to smell it?
Absolutely, and I was going to say, like, there's powdered cumin, but we would use the seeds because, again, it's just that splendid, aroma and smell and the visual.
Yeah, seeds are a must here. So the seeds
are
are in there.
Okay.
So this is about 20 seconds on some decent heat on here because you want to start to see them. They might even like start jumping around in the oil if you start watching.
Yeah.
And then to that, you are going to add in.
I can stir. That's helpful.
Sure, you want to stir? That'd be great. You're going to add in your garlic and ginger. Must be fresh. You really need the fresh ginger, fresh garlic. Ginger, buy it and freeze it. Like, buy a really nice piece of fresh stuff. You can throw it in whole into the freezer and just take it out, and it's great. You don't have to do any prep for that, and it doesn't go mushy in your
There
crisper.
are so many things that I've learned, like, cooking on this show that you can freeze that I didn't know that you could freeze. And so there you go. Ginger's another one.
Ginger's another one.
Yeah.
Get those onions in there. So those are all going to cook down for a while. You want them to get all the way down to the point where they start to kind of caramelize. So
Already, like, it's happening.
you can start to smell them.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go all the way to this stage. And this is where the visual part really comes in. You need it to look like the oil. See how the color of the oil has already shifted? So the canola oil has taken on the coloring from what it's being cooked with. You've got the onions are starting to brown. Everything is starting to come together. This is a key step. So you need to come to this point.
Okay.
To this, then you're going to add in your tomatoes. Okay, so those go in there. You're going to add your turmeric. This is going to give it that nice yellow color. You're going to add salt and pepper. And then your last seasoning that goes in here is your cayenne pepper.
Okay, so this is where we can, adjust the heat a little bit. But of course, it's probably going to be like, we want warmth with this.
Yeah, and I really do encourage you to put in at least a little bit. The recipe does say it's optional, so it's totally up to your palate and your own household and what you can tolerate and will enjoy. I love it all.
Jennifer's saying go for it.
Put it in there.
Go for the heat.
And so this is the difference too. So this is when it's just starting to come together. But then you really need to cook it down. You want to cook it down until you get to the point where you have almost like a tomato paste consistency. And this is really integral to this recipe, having the flavor that you want it to have.
Okay. And it's really like the turmeric is just absolutely doing its job here because it takes on that beautiful color, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really looking great. So when you get down to this stage, this is then where you're going to add in your rinsed and your drained lentils.
Okay.
So we have both here today.
Do you want me to start putting some
wanna,
things in here?
Yeah, so the lentils can go in.
First, okay.
So that's the Moong lentils.
Okay.
Perfect. Take that from you.
Thank you.
We're going to add in the red lentils.
Oh, that's so lovely.
And then you're going to stir it up and add the water.
Okay.
And there's about 6 cups of water, and this recipe has some flex. So depending on how long you soaked your lentils for and whether you used fresh or canned tomatoes, you may or may not need
quite as much. You want me to put all of this
I'd put it all in
because
because you're going to cook it for a bit. But this is where you need to use your eyes, and you have to make sure that it's cooked down enough. So if you get to this point and you think like that, it's a little too soupy, you're going to keep cooking it down because you really need those flavors to kind of meld and to get it there.
And eventually it will, right? Eventually.
It does. Yeah. Trust your
gotta
eyes.
be patient. Sometimes, yeah.
Right. Trust your eyes. Trust your nose in this one. If it foams a bit, you're going to scoop that off. That's what Nita's household would do to make sure that the flavors stay really authentic to the dish.
Okay.
And then to serve with this, this is where you have a really simple tomato, cucumber, and a little bit of an onion salad. Very simple. Do you want to add in the lemon juice that we have there?
I would be delighted
Fresh
to add the
lemon juice. We're going to add a pinch of salt. And then I love to add just a little splash of canola oil with my fresh veggies. It helps to really bring out, and if there's any fat-soluble vitamins in anything you're cooking, the canola oil allows your body to really get those out of max nutrients out of what you're already cooking. And I like the mouthfeel of it. So you can stir that up.
Yeah.
You got the pinch of salt. And then that's what you can serve alongside with your dal.
Absolutely delectable, and maybe a little bit of naan bread in there, or whatever it is that you'd want it to have with that.
Or roti.
Or roti, yes, absolutely. Okay, so there we have it, Moong Daal, and then when we're back, we're going to do Indian spiced potatoes with cauliflower and scented rice.
Close.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing scented rice,
Okay.
and then the cauliflower and the potatoes are together in one dish. And so they're just kind of additions that you could serve. If you've got multiple, or if you have special seasonings in your pantry that are maybe new to you or new to your household, I like to have multiple recipes that you can use them with because then they stay fresh and you're using them up in your pantry. So here's some more ideas.
Okay, so we're going to show you and tell you all about that when we come back on Great Taste of Manitoba.
We appreciate you, whether you're new to this channel or a long-time viewer. If you'd like to join us in the kitchen regularly and meet farm families across Manitoba, please subscribe. We share new videos every Sunday.